Welcome aboard, fellow adventurers. Today, we're embarking on a journey into the fascinating world of phobias. From the fear of spiders to the terror of public speaking, we'll explore the many different types of phobias that exist and discover how they can be conquered. Phobias can be caused by a variety of factors, including genetics, traumatic experiences, and learned behaviors. Some phobias may be more common in certain cultures or age groups. For example, social phobia may be more common in teenagers or young adults, while agoraphobia may be more common in older adults. Now, let's take a closer glimpse into the diverse range of phobia types that exist in the world. Acrophobia is the fear of heights. Standing on a ladder is enough to make their legs turn to jelly, and they avoid sky-high structures like the plague. Agoraphobia is the fear of open or crowded spaces. They dread the thought of being caught in a crowded area or being stuck in the open without a safe place to retreat to. Arachnophobia is the fear of spiders. Even the tiniest spider sends shivers down their spine, and they'll go to great lengths to avoid them. Astraphobia is the fear of thunder and lightning. The sound of thunder sets their heart racing, and lightning strikes make them feel like they're in danger. Claustrophobia is the fear of confined spaces. They can't stand the thought of being trapped in an elevator, cave, or even a small room, and avoid these at all costs. Cynophobia is the fear of dogs. They're terrified of dogs, no matter how small or friendly they may be, and they'll go out of their way to avoid them. Hemophobia is the fear of blood. The sight of blood makes them feel faint or nauseous, and they can't stand the thought of getting a cut or scrape. Hydrophobia is the fear of water. They can't stand to be in or near water, even a small puddle, and the thought of drowning is their worst nightmare. Mysophobia is the fear of germs or dirt. They're constantly washing their hands and avoiding public places where they might come into contact with germs or dirt. Necrophobia is the fear of death or dead things. The thought of death or dead bodies is enough to send them into a panic, and they avoid funerals or cemeteries at all costs. Nyctophobia is the fear of darkness or night. They can't stand to be in the dark or even dimly lit rooms, and they dread the thought of being outside at night. Ophidiophobia is the fear of snakes. Even pictures of snakes can send shivers down their spine, and they'll go out of their way to avoid them. Ornithophobia is the fear of birds. They're terrified of birds, especially when they're flying or flocking, and they avoid them whenever possible. Before we move on, please subscribe to the channel for more great content. Pteromerhanophobia is the fear of flying. The thought of being in an aeroplane sends their anxiety skyrocketing, and they avoid flying altogether. Social phobia is the fear of social situations or embarrassment. They dread the thought of being the center of attention, and avoid social situations or public speaking. Trypanophobia is the fear of injections or needles. They can't stand the thought of getting a shot or having blood drawn, and they'll avoid medical procedures whenever possible. Xenophobia is the fear of strangers or foreign things. They're afraid of anything that's unfamiliar or different from their own culture, and they'll avoid new experiences or people. Zoophobia is the fear of animals. They're afraid of any kind of animal, even domesticated ones, and will go out of their way to avoid them. Coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. The sight of a clown makes them feel uneasy or even terrified, and they'll avoid circuses or parties with clown performers. Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13. They believe the number 13 is unlucky or cursed, and will avoid anything related to this number, such as hotels on the 13th floor or flights with the number 13. Trypophobia is the fear of holes or clusters of small holes. The sight of objects with small holes or bumps, such as honeycomb or bubble wrap, can trigger intense feelings of anxiety and revulsion in those with trypophobia. And last, but not least, glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. The fear of public speaking is one of the most common phobias, causing physical symptoms like trembling and sweating, and leading individuals to avoid situations that require them to speak in public. Now we move on to the solutions available to combat phobias. A combination of therapy and medication is a common approach, with cognitive behavioral therapy being a favored method. This involves safely exposing the person to their fear and teaching them coping mechanisms. Alternative treatments, such as hypnotherapy and virtual reality therapy, can also help the person learn to manage anxiety and confront their fear in a secure environment. Remember, seeking professional help is key to receiving an accurate diagnosis and individualized treatment plan. Thanks for joining us on this incredible voyage of discovery. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, please hit that like button and subscribe to AI Voyage for more exciting adventures. Until next time, happy exploring.